Turning to our other breaking news story tonight, for the second time in 4 days, look at this. Police and fire investigators are looking into an arson at an East Charlotte apartment complex. This was the scene on Kelston Place early this morning. Heavy flames shooting through the roof of the leasing office there. And now we flew over with Chopper 9 this afternoon, and you can really just see that destruction. Just look, you can actually see right into the building there. The roof just disintegrated away. Reporter Mark Becker is there live for us right now. And Mark, this is just a few miles away from last week's apartment arson.
Yeah, Paul, it's close, but there are maybe some similarities. Police not connecting the two just yet, but they did just put the fencing up around what was the leasing office here. And you can see it went from 2 stories down to 1. The fire burned hot, it burned fast, and it burned hot enough that it even melted the siding on that apartment building right over there. And we've learned now it was no accident.
Over into Monday morning.
It was just before 3 o'clock in the morning as neighbors watched flames reaching deep into the darkness.
I just came out, all I saw was just fire, just flames, just up in the air.
Big time, flames all the way above the trees.
Firefighters never really had a chance. By the time they got here, all they could do was try to keep those flames from reaching any of the apartment buildings nearby. And just before dawn, a blanket of smoke had replaced that pillar of fire, but it would be several hours yet before investigators could start digging through the debris, looking for clues to what might have started it. And just after noon, they announced this was no accident, and people who live here weren't surprised to hear it.
I don't know if it will result to that, but tenants do get very angry at them for not keeping up with the property, for not keeping up with the maintenance.
This fire comes just 4 days after another fire had destroyed the office at an apartment complex on Prospect Drive in North Charlotte. Investigators have said that fire was also set, and they don't have any suspects yet. They're not saying if there's any evidence tying that fire to the one here this morning, but they have to at least be considering the possibility that 2 fires at 2 apartment complexes in less than a week may be something more than a coincidence.
A lot of questions here, Mark. This is the same apartment complex that we've actually reported on before, where residents have had complaints about living conditions. Any sense if that's just a coincidence?
Well, it's hard to say, Paul. It's awfully early, but some people we spoke with who live here suggest that it might, in fact, not be a coincidence. It was in January that we were out here talking with people about trash scattered around the complex and the bigger problem that several pointed out of black mold in their apartments. They said they had complained, but the management here hadn't addressed those problems, and we heard some of those very same complaints out here today. I did try to reach that management company, by the way. They're based in Atlanta, left a message but haven't heard back. Paul?